Hello, good people of the internet. My name is Hexa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about seasonal affective disorder, otherwise known as seasonal depression, and what you can do to avoid it or alleviate the symptoms. If you learn anything valuable in this video and you'd like to see more videos on adventure, lifestyle, and mental health, then please consider subscribing to my channel. So what is seasonal affective disorder? Put simply, seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is a type of depression that is associated with a change in the seasons. SAD is most likely to affect people during the winter time, although about 10% of people with SAD get it in the summer, and studies show that you're more likely to get summer SAD if you live closer to the equator. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking more specifically about winter SAD because that is the kind that people tend to experience the most. In fact, when I was researching this topic, I have this extension on Google Chrome that shows me the trends in search volume for everything that I Google, and it consistently showed spikes for the term seasonal affective disorder around November or so, with another smaller spike in December every single year for the past 5 years or more. So if you're generally a happy person, but you notice over a period of 2 or more years that you keep getting into these depressive, sad, really low episodes around the same time of year each consecutive year, then you might be suffering from SAD and might consider talking to your doctor to figure out a solution. So what exactly are the symptoms of SAD? Well, SAD is a type of depression, and the symptoms are pretty similar to most kinds of depression, with the only difference being that it is specific to a certain time of year or a certain season. Symptoms you can expect would be things like sleep disturbance, either sleeping too much or too little, gaining or losing weight, having pretty low energy levels, feeling unmotivated, feeling like you don't enjoy the things that you normally enjoy doing, being in a negative mood and having a lot of negative thoughts. And in severe cases, this could range all the way up to thoughts of suicide or just thinking a lot about death in general. You might be having feelings of hopelessness, worthlessness, guilt, and shame. You might be less interested in socializing with friends or family and keeping to yourself a lot. The causes of SAD still need to be researched more in depth to figure out exactly why some people get SAD and not others. But the general consensus is that it has something to do with the change in the length of the day and the temperature and the amount of sunlight that you're getting. So in the winter, because the days are shorter and you're getting less sunlight, that disturbs the circadian rhythm, which is the cycle that regulates your sleep. And generally this will tend to make you want to sleep more because it's darker for a longer period of the day. Exposure to sunlight also aids in serotonin production, which is known as the happy hormone that regulates our mood. And because you're getting less sunlight in the winter, that can also cause lower levels of serotonin, which is what may cause depression during the winter time. Less sunlight also affects your melatonin production, which is what makes you feel sleepy. And it's just generally cold, dark, miserable, and it's easier to understand why a lot of people get these winter blues. Now let's get into some ways of alleviating the symptoms of SAD. None of these promise to cure you outright, but they will make this condition easier to manage and help you feel better. The first tip is to take a vitamin D supplement. This is because we get most of our vitamin D from the sun generally, and of course during winter, since you're getting less sunlight, you're getting less vitamin D, and vitamin D is actually one of the vitamins that aids in the production of serotonin. Studies show that the effects of vitamin D on depression are very, very minimal, but still most people do tend to become deficient in vitamin D during the winter, so it's a good idea either way. Whether it helps with SAD or not, it can't hurt, and it also has positive effects on bone health. Another vitamin supplement that's worth trying is B6, because that also has something to do with the production of serotonin. So any vitamins that help make more serotonin are a good idea whenever you're feeling down. Another thing you can try is light therapy. They're basically a lamp or a light that is supposed to mimic the effects of sunlight. So you put it in front of you for like an hour in the morning, or just whenever you can, whenever you have the time and are able to have it in front of you, and just try to get exposed to this bright, sunlight mimicking lamp. And the idea behind it is that it should trick your brain into thinking that it's looking at the sun and acting more the way that it would when you have more consistent access to sunlight. Again, the research behind these doesn't show that they are a cure for SAD, but they do alleviate the symptoms and give you a little bit of a boost in energy and mood. A quick disclaimer, I've never personally used a light therapy lamp, so I'm not able to personally confirm whether they work or not, but you can bet that if I ever buy one, I will be doing a review on this channel at some point, so let me know. Should I try it? I don't know. But again, it's just one of those things that you can try if you feel like you're getting into a little bit of a funk during the winter time, and you know, if it's something that's not too expensive, what's the harm in trying? In the absence of a light therapy lamp, you might just want to try spending more time outside in general. I know it's cold, I know it's windy, I know it's miserable, but you really want to try to take advantage as much as possible of the few hours of sunlight that you do have access to. Taking a walk through nature is a good idea and is proven to boost your mood. You could always take your lunches outside rather than indoors. And if you don't want to actually be outside, then at least try to work near a window where there's a lot of light coming in while you're working, so you're not just cooped up in the dark all day, because that will not be good for you. Another thing that can really help is exercise, and I know when you're feeling depressed that's the last thing you want to do, but it really does help boost your serotonin levels and endorphins and just fill your body up with energy and with happy hormones. Exercise always sucks at first because your brain is resistant to change, and if you haven't exercised in a while and you suddenly start, your brain is gonna tell you no, danger, uncomfortable, don't do this, change is bad, but that's just the way that our brains are programmed, and they don't necessarily always know what's best for us. Trust me when I say this, that once you actually get into the routine and the habit of exercising, it will be really, really great for you, especially in the winter when you need to find another way of encouraging your body to produce happy hormones other than just sunlight and blue skies. Even if you're not suffering from SAD, exercising during winter is still important because it helps maintain your health and boost your immunity, and it keeps you from gaining too much weight from all those seasonal treats. Speaking of seasonal treats, eat a balanced diet. Of course, you can enjoy your roasts and your gingerbread and your chocolates and everything else that we like to eat during the holiday season. There is a time and a place for that, and that's fine. But if all you're eating comes in a plastic bag and is full of sugar and preservatives, you're not going to be getting the vitamins that you need to maintain a balanced diet, which comes along with a good mood and healthy immune system. The mind-body connection is very real and very important, and if you're physically not maintaining your health, your mental health is likely to suffer as well. There is a reason why doctors recommend lifestyle changes for people with mental health issues. It's because oftentimes those mental health issues are not necessarily rooted in something that's inherently wrong with your ability to produce serotonin, but rather you're just not giving your body the fuel and the motion and the activity and the healthy habits that it needs to sustain itself and to function optimally, and as a result, your mental health suffers. Put simply, healthy body, healthy mind. One cannot exist without the other. Of course, there's a little bit of like a chicken or the egg scenario as well. Is it the poor mental health that caused the poor physical health, or the poor physical health that causes the poor mental health? Because both can have an effect on each other. But while depression really does drain your energy levels and feel like an anchor that's pulling you down, I encourage you to do everything in your power to resist the temptation to do what's easy and what requires the least amount of energy, and instead focus on getting better and improving the way that you're feeling physically and mentally. And the way you're gonna do that is by putting systems in place to ensure that you are enforcing good habits. My next tip is to get cozy and try to adjust your attitude to focus on the positive aspects of the winter season, such as good food, time with friends and family, and that feeling of warmth and comfort that comes from being, safe in your own home, shielded from the cold outside. Pick up a book on the Nordic concept of hygge, which is very popular in Denmark and Norway. It's basically this lifestyle or this life concept of creating a feeling of coziness and ambiance and, you know, just a nice, calm, happy atmosphere by doing things like lighting candles, getting together with small gatherings of family or friends. Of course, that might be hard right now with COVID, but you could always Skype with some of your family or friends if you're not able to meet up in person. Drinking warm drinks like hot cocoa, tea, mulled wine, or eggnog. Wearing cozy, comfortable clothes and getting all huddled up with a bunch of blankets to read a good book. All of these things are part of the concept of hygge. Of course, there's a lot more to it. But I mean, you know, I think there's a reason why so many of our important celebrations are around the winter time, because that's when we really just need a pick-me-up. So as much as I say that you should keep a balanced diet and exercise and do all of those things, you should also just enjoy the holiday season. Eat the gingerbread, eat the steak, or the pot roast, or whatever. As much as it is dark and cold and miserable, there's also a lot of things that you can do to fill up your home with holiday cheer and a feeling of warmth and comfort and coziness. Whatever you focus on is what you will create more of, and if you're constantly just focusing on the fact that it is cold and dark and miserable, then that's what you're going to be feeling more of. But if you take advantage of that to create a comfy, cozy atmosphere in your own home, that can really do wonders for the way that you're feeling and your outlook on life and on the season. My next tip for SAD is to keep a consistent sleep schedule. SAD can have a pretty profound effect on your sleep and how much you feel the need to be sleeping for. In some cases, you might want to sleep a lot. Other cases, you might have trouble sleeping. Either way, try your best to get a normal amount of sleep for you. Somewhere between 7 to 9 hours is optimal. And above all else, make sure that you are awake during the daylight hours in winter, because if you're sleeping in super late and you're missing a lot of the few available hours of daylight, that's gonna make you feel even worse. So make sure you're awake when the sun's out and make the most of the daylight hours available to you. And lastly, make an appointment with your doctor. If you've tried all of these tips and your mood hasn't improved and you're still feeling really depressed, really down, and it's affecting your life in a very negative way, it's really important to seek out help from a professional. Your doctor will likely refer you for psychotherapy or maybe prescribe antidepressants. It's okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you weak, and it's not something you should feel afraid of or intimidated by. You're just taking care of your mental health the same way that you would take care of your physical health if your body was sick. You need to take care of your mind when your mind is sick. So with more severe cases of SAD, all of the other things I've mentioned on this list might not be enough to help and to make you feel better, and that is when you should be consulting your doctor and you know, doing whatever you can to lift yourself out of that. SAD is not an uncommon thing, and any good doctor should understand and respect the fact that this is something that you might need help with from them. So those were my tips for how to avoid seasonal affective disorder and alleviate the symptoms. I hope that they will help you keep the winter blues at bay. Leave me a comment down below and let me know which of these tips you're going to be trying to maintain your physical and mental health this winter. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, then please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here and share more helpful tips with you about creating a happier, healthier life. All of my social media is linked down below if you want to follow me over there, as well as my Patreon link if you want to help support this channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!